Greetings to all. Myself Vaishnavi, Assistant Professor, IT Department from SNS College of Engineering. Now we are going to see about the perspective process model. First one is waterfall model. Perspective process models. The process models can be defined as the abstract representation of process. The appropriate process model can be chosen based on the abstract representation of process. These process models will follow some rules for correct the usage. It is called the perspective model because they prescribe a set of process elements, that is framework activities, software engineering actions, task, work products, quality assurance, and change control mechanism for each project. The each process model also prescribes the process flow, also called as a workflow, that is the manner in which the process elements are interrelated to one another. The waterfall model, first phase will be the communication, next one will be the planning, third one modeling, fourth one construction, and then fifth one is deployed. The waterfall model, sometimes called as a classic life cycle, suggests the systematic sequential approach to software development that begins with the customer specification of requirements and progresses through planning, modeling, construction, and deployment on ongoing support of the completed software. The waterfall model is the oldest paradigm for software engineering. In the requirement gathering and analysis phase, the basic requirements of the system must be understood by the software engineer, who is called analyst. The design is an intermediate step between the requirement analysis and coding. Design focuses on the data structure, software architecture, interface representation, and then algorithm details. Coding is a step in which the design is translated into the machine readable form. And then testing begins when the coding is done. The purpose of testing is to uncover the errors, fix the bugs, and meet the customer requirements. Maintenance is the longest life cycle phase. The purpose of the maintenance, in which when the system is installed and put into the practical use, then the error may get introduced, correcting such as errors and putting into use. Advantages. The waterfall model is simple to implement. For implementation of the small system, it is very useful. Next, problems in the waterfall model. First one, real project rarely follow the sequential flow that the model proposes. Changes can causes the confusion as the project team proceeds. Second point, it is difficult for the customers to state all the requirements explicitly. The waterfall model requires this and has a difficulty accommodating the natural uncertainty that exists at the beginning of the many projects. Third point, the customer must have the patience. The working version of the programs will not be available until late in the project time span. The major blunder, if undetected until the working program is reviewed, to be disasters. Next model will be the V model. In each phases, the testing will be done. First one is requirement modeling. After the requirement modeling, the acceptance test will happen, and then architecture design. After architecture design, the system testing will happen. Then component design. After completing the component design, integration testing will happen. Then code generation. After code generation, unit testing will be happen, and then final executable software. The variation in the representation of the waterfall model is called the V model. The V model depicts the relationship of the quality assurance action to the action associated with the communication, modeling, and yearly construction activities. As the software team moves down the left side of the V, basic problem requirements are refined into the progressively more detailed and the technical representation of the problem and its solutions. Once the code has been generated, the teams moves up the right side the V, essentially performing the series of tests, that is quality assurance action. that validate each of the models created as a team move down to the left side. And then in reality, there is no fundamental difference between the classic life cycle and the V model. The V model provides the way of visualizing how the verification and validation actions are applied to earlier engineering work. Thank you.